Yo, yo, yo! Welcome to AP Bio Bites, the podcast where we take a microscope to biology and a magnifying glass to the drama happening inside your own cells. I'm your host, Kid Ruler, of course, the one and only.
Now, let's get into this.
Okay, today we're going to be zooming into the tiny universe of cells and the chaotic ways they let stuff in and out. You think your roommate's boundaries are confusing? Try talking to a phospholipid bilayer. Bilayer, how about that? Let's start with segment number 1. Who runs the world? Cells, of course. Cells are like the basic unit of life. They're like the Lego blocks of living things. Only instead of stepping on a brick and crying, you step inside and cry because the endoplasmic reticulum is so underappreciated. But the real VIP entrance to the cell is the plasma membrane. This is like a diva. This is a diva. It's a selectively permeable, which is a science speak for you can't sit with us unless you're small, nonpolar, or very charming. So let's move on to segment number 2, the door policies of the cells. Let's break down how cells handle traffic because believe me, the cells is busier than the Starbucks on Finals Week. So number 1, passive transport. This is the chillest method, no energy needed at all. Molecules just vibe their way through the membrane. It's really simple like that. It's like if Netflix recommended something to you and you actually liked it. Rare but effortless, you know. Now, a part of passive transport is also simple diffusion. Molecules move from high concentration to low. Think like perfume in a room. One spritz and boom! It's everyone's problem. Now another one of this is also called facilitated diffusion. Now this is where it gets real juicy. Molecules that can't get in by themselves hitch a ride with a protein channel. It's like an Uber but for glucose. So now moving on to number 2, osmosis. Ah yeah, osmosis. Water's passive aggressive cousin. Osmosis is the movement of water across the whole membrane. Water goes wherever there's more solute, like salt or sugar, because water is needy and wants to dilute everything. Here are the 3 main scenarios in osmosis. First one, hypotonic. Water rushes into the cell, so because of that, the cell gets bloated and might pop like a sad water balloon. Oh. Number 2, hypertonic. Water leaves the cell shrivels like a raisin, but dies. Now, third and final one, isotonic. Water's gonna be like, yeah, I'm good. Equal movement in and out. Homeostasis achieved. Everyone's chill. Now, we're moving on to segment number 3, active transport, because some molecules are extra. So passive transport is cool and all, but sometimes molecules need to go from low concentration to high concentration. That's like swimming upstream while carrying groceries, and it takes energy, specifically ATP, to do all that. So active transport is the cell yelling, I do what I want, and burning enough energy to do it. It also pumps proteins. These are the molecular bouncers. Only the select few get through, and it costs ATP. Another one is called endocytosis and exocytosis. These are the extremes. Endocytosis is when the cell swallows stuff whole. It engulfs the whole thing. Exocytosis is when the cell says, get out! And spits things out like the toddler who just discovered broccoli. I mean, I like broccoli. Now moving on to segment number 4, transport drama. Reality show recap. Picture this. Inside the cell are glucose molecules trying to get in. Simple diffusion? Nope. It's clearly too polite. So it slides into a protein channel. The protein size opens up and glucose waltzes through like it owns the place. Meanwhile, sodium and potassium are in the epic turf war. The sodium-potassium pump is losing its mind, throwing out 3 sodium ions and bringing in 2 potassium, like it's managing a nightclub guest list. All while ATP just gets used up like a college student data plan. Okay, cell friends, You survived the reality show, the osmosis emotional roller coaster, and the ATP burnout drama. Now let's hit you with some study hacks so you can't end up screaming into a pillow the night before the AP Bio exam. Tip number 1. HOPI, H-O-P, the tonic train. Trying to remember what happens to a cell different solutions? Just HOPI on the board. H equals hypertonic. O equals overfilled cell swells. P equals plump like a grape. I equals it might burst. Tragic but educational. Now, tip number 2. Passive versus active transport. Think of elevators. Passive transport is like going down an elevator. And active transport is like going up while carrying groceries. Remember that? Tip number 3. Facilitated diffusion equals protein smoothie. You want to get into the cell? Cool. But if you're too big or polar, you need the protein helper. It's like you're a protein smoothie. You've got a good look. You got good stuff too. But you need a blender. Channel or carrier protein. That's the blender. To get you inside. Bonus tip! Sodium potassium pump equals 3 strikes, you're out. Need a fast fact for active transporting flexing? The sodium potassium pump moves 3 sodium out, 2 potassium in. And it uses 1 ATP every single time they use it. That's right, for every 3 annoying sodium it kicks out, it welcomes 2 potassiums. Like a petty doorman with strict standards. Now we're going to the end. Let's go through this real quick. Passive equals no energy, high to low, chill. Active equals needs ATP, low to high, extra. Osmosis equals water's weird obsession with balance. Okay, remember that? Membranes equals gatekeepers with trust issues. Just remember, if your molecules are moving like lazy Sunday shoppers, it's passive. If they're going against the flow like salmon in a mission, it's active. Alright, cell stars. That's it for today's episode of AP Bio Bites, Selfies and Transport. Go out there and live your best life, and remember, your body has trillions of cells, so at least someone thinks you're important. Catch you next time. Hasta la pasta!